Hi, thanks for joining me for the coding updates for pain management practices. We have several new codes, and I will do my best to explain the codes in detail, as well as give you a financial analysis, because many of these new codes are replacing a single code. So the first code that we have is a code that's replacing CPT code 62310. These two new codes, 62320 and 62321, are for a cervical or thoracic epidural. The difference between the codes is with or without imaging. We've given you the Medicare rates for 2017 at the bottom of each code. And so here's a financial analysis or financial impact for you. In 2016, CPT code 62310 paid $284.09. We're giving you the non-facility rates. I think it's probably important for me to specify. The non-facility means these rates are paying you as if these services are rendered within your practice, within the physician's office. You get a higher reimbursement for that as opposed to performing them in an outside facility like an ASC. So in 2016, if you performed this service in your office, you were paid $284.09. And if you used fluoroscopic guidance, which is CPT 62321, you were paid slightly more this year, $288.96. The difference with these codes is they've simply added the verbiage with or without imaging guidance. So you will be paid less now without the imaging guidance, whereas last year or this year in 2016, they're paying you the same for that code whether you use it or not. So we have the same for the epidural. This replaces CPT code 62311. So again, it's two new CPT codes. The addition and the definition of these is simply with or without imaging. One code represents without imaging, the second code represents with imaging. Here's the financial analysis for you, or financial impact. And again, these are non-facility rates, meaning they were performed within your practice's walls, the office setting. You can see they're paying you more this year for the use of fluoroscopy, where last year they were not paying you for fluoroscopy and they were paying you less. So it looks like they're paying you an additional $21 and change for the use of the fluoroscopy this year. Following in the same line of coding that they did with the epidurals, we have two new codes that replace 62318. And again, all they've done is added verbiage that says with or without imaging guidance. We've created a financial impact analysis for you. 62318, the old code, in 2016 paid you $270. And in 2017, you'll be paid $252, which is less than what they paid you last year. Again, I think it's important to note, we're giving you the non-facility rates. We have two new codes representing the lumbar portion of this, replacing CPT code 62319. The same thing applies to this code, that the only thing that has changed in the definition is they've added with or without imaging to the end of the definition for the CPT code. So it's no new verbiage, it's not a new procedure, it's basically specifying whether this service was provided with imaging or without imaging. In 2016, you were paid $194 whether you use fluoroscopy or not, and again, they were not paying additional amounts for the fluoroscopy code. This year, they've so generously paid you an additional $65 and change for the use of fluoroscopy, which is CPT code 62327. That does it. There's 8 new codes. They replace 4 previous codes. And again, the only difference is the verbiage with or without imaging. If you have any other questions, please feel free to call us, or you can email me directly, josh@newportmed.com, or you can email our coding team. That email address is coding@newportmed.com. We're happy to answer any questions that this presentation may have created, and if we can't answer immediately, we will do the research and get an answer back to you. Thanks so much for your time, and onward to 2017.